Yes. How are you once again? My name is Richard and Talumbwa. We started our session today of how to start a business. And we had several questions we've been asking ourselves. And our first question was, how can I overcome fear to start a business? In our first session or first part, we discovered that you need to understand two key sections. One, your inner self. You need to know your inner self. Secondly, you need to know your external self, whatever is out of you. So we say that once you know yourself, it's so easy for you then to encounter whatever is out of you. So this very session, we are going to put our focus and attention on what is external. What is that exact thing that we fear? Whenever we see a lake, we fear to put our feet in the water, not knowing how deep it is. But that very first step you take is what we call entrepreneurship. And it gives you more strength to move further and further, knowing how deep the water is. There is no way you can know how deep the water is unless you step in that water. So we've known ourselves. Our next agenda is to know the external self. Like in the previous session, we said that knowing your strength shall give you the confidence in how to approach the fear. So right now, we are going to look at the fear itself. How can we know the fear out there? How can we know the waves out there? How can we know whatever is challenging out there? How can we know? Most of us have the greatest ideas. We believe in ourselves. We have strengths that we know that I'm strong in this. But when it comes to time to move out, to take that strength out of you, it's sometimes challenging. Most people talk about how great they can lead nations, but when they can never even lead a home, that's how challenging it is. How can you drive your fear into that external environment? Our focus in this session is going to be how to look at that external environment. And the only way to understand the external environment is by doing what we call a market research. When I talk about environment, I'm talking about where you are going to put your business. Where are you going to station? Where are you going to station your business? Most businesses stay in ideas but fail to come out to be put into practice because of the fear of the external environment. But how can we know the external environment? Once we know the external environment, it gives us a sense to see how easily we could approach the external environment. The way we could study and know the external environment is by doing what we call a market research. Basically, market research is a process of undertaking the gathering of information about the customers' needs and preferences. Not only knowing the customers, but what do they need? What do they prefer? Are you going to bring the same thing that they've been having on the market? Are you going to provide the same products or services they have on the market? Will that solve their problem? Will that be a need to them? Look at the situation of COVID. Are you going to bring the same things that way they've been brought even in the time before COVID? People right now will look for what is more priority. They look for what is more pressing compared to what has been there. Someone can afford to buy something considering priority. So as you're taking your market research, focus on what are the needs of the people you're going to serve. Once you know the needs of the people you're going to serve, it's going to drive you to provide exactly what they need, and that will strengthen your business in the market. Actually, this will create a lasting impression. So, as we're looking at the instant environment, let's look at the needs of the people. One of the challenges we have is that we've always produced products that we think we need the most, and we think even others need them most. That is so challenging. They say one man's meat is another man's poison. So it's not that what you like is what other people will like. It's not that when you think of loving eating matoke and rice, that every other person will be interested in having matoke and rice and chicken. That may be a luxury to others. Consider the big number. What do they need? If you want a small market, consider the small market. But if you want the big number, consider what the big number of people need. We base this on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If we look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we discover that the base that takes on the basic needs is the biggest compared to the luxuries or the items needed for self-esteem. So in this COVID situation, do you think people are going to concentrate on the luxuries or the base is going to widen? So as you're doing a market research, look at what the majority need. Focus your attention on what the majority need. And maybe to give you some highlight, currently or in the times to come after COVID or within COVID, I think most of what the people need is going to be situated in the lower part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That is the basics: shelter, food, accommodation, education, security. Those are things that are found in the hierarchy of needs, the base. So if you're focusing on your attention, if you're focusing your attention on research, research exactly on in those base products and services what is key that is needed. So what is a market research process? Since it's a process, that means it has different steps and levels. So there's several key steps we're going to look into. One of the key steps in the market research is what we call the identification or definition of the exact problem. Not your problem, but the problem of the majority, because you're coming to supply products and services for the majority. We're going to look much into that. Then we shall also look at then how can I determine the objectives and approaches to undertake. That is another key step within the market research. Then thereafter, you formulate a research design, which we call also a plan of how you're going to do the data capturing. Then you also collect the data. Don't just think for the people. Go there and ask the people. Because if you think for the people, you may think wrongly. But if you ask them, you'll get the right full need. Then thereafter, you prepare your data, analyze, and get exactly what these people need. You come up with a report that will help you to formulate a plan for action. Let's look at the first step of our market research: identifying and defining the problem. One of the biggest challenges we have, like I said earlier, is identifying a problem basing on your own thoughts, basing on your own needs, but not looking at the exact needs of people. So, how do I identify the problem, the exact problem? Ask yourself still these key questions. It's always good you always move in asking questions, asking yourself and asking others. One of the key questions we need to look into here is, what is the exact problem? What is the exact need in this COVID situation? What is the exact problem? You get my point? Focus your attention. What is the exact problem? Not the problem you're facing, but the problem the majority are facing. Then what causes the challenges? What causes that problem? Where does the problem come from? Once you know exactly the cause, it will help you come up with the rightful solution. But if you don't know the cause, you will be just putting something as a painkiller for the problem. We've seen painkiller businesses, and these painkiller businesses have died off because the painkiller will be used to the body and it will be dissolved in the body. It won't be a solution anymore. So, what is the exact root cause? Is another question you need to ask yourself. Then, the third question: what is the exact target market you're looking at? What is the target market? What are the target customers? I'm not going to satisfy the whole world's problems. Concentrate on the target market, because it's from that target market that you're going to expand. You cannot satisfy the whole world. You cannot satisfy the whole country. Start small, because if you satisfy those few, you'll grow bigger. That's why if you look at most of these companies that you look at, where their headquarters are, they try to see that they concentrate on first even satisfying the people around their headquarters. Just around. Look at the telephone companies. Wherever they are, you'll find the same kiosks. So satisfy the first market. Look at the beer making company, the breweries. Where are they? Where they are, they have to first satisfy the people around. The sugar factories, even any other small business. If the people around you, the community around you is not satisfied, it's so hard for you to know how you can satisfy the bigger masses. You cannot fail to satisfy the local, then you satisfy the international. So what is the exact target market? That target market will give you the first feedback. What are the characteristics, features, and attributes of the customers or the market? What are their buying behaviors? What are their buying needs? Characteristics. Are they backward? That they are always negative about your products? Look at the target market. Then, how many potential buyers do you have? Once you get to know the potential buyers, it's not a matter of whoever says, take away duka tujja kugula ebintu, is going to buy. No. Not whoever tells you that put there your shop, you shall buy, is going to buy. Put there your school, you shall bring the children, he's going to bring the children. Count. Get to know the exact numbers. Because if you get to know the exact numbers, that will give you an inspiration that is going to be the first advertisement board for your business. But if you don't know the numbers and you dwell on the masses, which are not quantified, people's tastes and preferences change. Get to know exactly who is buying. And how can you get to know that? The first people who come to buy from you, what advice do they give you? That will show you how far you're meant to go, even in the communities. What words do you hear out there? Who is exactly loyal as a customer? So, as you're doing your market research, just get to know that the wider you understand your problem, you will be able to address it more. But if you know your problem just by a thought, it will be difficult for you to address it. Understand your problem deeper. Get deeper into understanding the type of people you're dealing with. Get deeper into understanding what they want, what exactly they want. They may not want your products or services, but they may want the after sales services, and that's their happiness. I've seen people who don't even prefer the product itself, but they prefer the services related to the product. So you need to understand the characteristics of your customers, the people you're going to feed your products and services. Do they want just association? Do they want to associate with you, but not to buy your products? That's also there. They may be interested in business yaffe tulina amaduuka gaffe mu kitundu, but when themselves are not buying, but still they're customers on the other hand because they do the advertising part. So get to learn the people you're dealing with. Identify what exactly the problem is. What are its causes? What is your target market? You cannot satisfy the whole world. What are the characteristics, features of these people, attributes of these people that you're dealing with? And who exactly are the potential buyers? Then from that, it will give you a stepping stone in identifying and defining exactly what the problem is. May God bless you. Let's stop there. We shall add on more. But I will leave you an exercise. Still in our book, remember in our first page, we said write all your strengths, as many as possible. On page 2 to page 5, I want you to identify and define the problems your business is going to address in the area that you want to focus on. Write the exact challenges, write the causes of the problems, write the exact target market, write the characteristics, features, and attributes of your customers, and count the number of potential and capable customers you're going to have for your business. Please, from page 2 to 5, make sure you've written those. Then we shall proceed from there. May God bless you.